The banking crackdown continues. There's 3 banks out of 5 that the French authorities have cracked down on that you've definitely heard of. Plus, I got some good news finally coming out of the US in regards to cryptocurrencies. Plus, I have some really good news about Ethereum. All right, so let's just get into this. First good news, Coinbase is actually coming out with an inflation-pegged stablecoin tracking inflation data. So here's my thoughts on this. Okay, this is really sweet of them to try to, help people out with inflation. But are they going to be using CPI data, which is government inflation data, which doesn't include food or fuel? That's how they want like a 2% inflation target. Or is it real inflation, whereas we had back in 2022, we had lumber up 125% and then steel up like 156%. So is that stablecoin going to follow that? Who knows how they're going to do this? I don't trust it right now. But good news, people are still working on figuring out good ways to help people out with stablecoins, okay? Next up, we have Bitcoin can eliminate companies like Western Union and MoneyGram. This is according to CNBC. That would be really nice, especially for people that are trying to send money overseas to their families. That's going to definitely cut costs, and I can see this happening more and more, especially as more and more decentralized exchanges come about. That's going to make things a lot easier for people, and that's definitely going to put pressure on Western Union. All right, next up we have some more really good news. NASDAQ aims to launch a crypto custody service in second quarter. So crypto's not going anywhere. I think some people realize that crypto's not going anywhere. The US government doesn't understand that, or they're just playing their little game of, we need our CBDCs. So this is going to happen more and more. You're going to see more and more companies, especially overseas, as the US decides to crack down more and more crypto. You're going to see talent and innovation going overseas, and a lot more people are going to be involved with this. Next up, we have US government holds $5.6 billion of seized Bitcoin. Now, who knows if they're going to dump that? I have no idea, but they do hold a lot of Bitcoin right now. So that is probably not the best news, but to quell your fears here, that $5.6 billion of crypto will be soaked up so fast if they decide to dump that, because there's people like Michael Saylor, there's countries like El Salvador, there's other places in the world that have billionaires that want cheaper crypto. And if somebody decides to dump that much, which who knows if the US government is smart enough to actually, try to make a profit on that, we'll see. Okay, so the next part of news that I'm talking about, we've been talking on our CT Club where you get our trade alerts and everything, plus we've been talking about this on our YouTube. I predicted this within weeks after the banking crisis, right? Or like soon after the banking crisis. So Christine Lagarde says banks will lose control if they don't use a central bank digital currency. Yes, so what did I say? I said that, banks, it's going to be a problem reaction solution. So the problem is bank runs, potential hyperinflation. The reaction, people are freaking out, taking money out of their smaller banks, putting in the larger banks, so consolidation of power. And then the solution, CBDC, we're gonna save the day. We're gonna have a central bank digital currency, so there'll never be a bank run again, and everyone's gonna be safe. Wow, these people are evil. Next up, we have The Guardian says this. So there's a war right now between crypto and traditional finance. Obviously, you know this by now. So they said cryptocurrencies add nothing useful to society. And then here's Naomi Brockwell's response to this. She says, how naive to see the value of an independent monetary system that is censorship resistant by design and not controlled by bureaucrats who would inflate away the savings of the most vulnerable. Absolutely agree with you, Naomi. That is an awesome statement. And yes, there is definitely a war going on, and we are in the midst of it right now. So here's the banks these 5 banks that just got raided. So here's 5 banks that just got raided by French authorities for a $100 billion fraud investigation, all right? Societe Generale, you've heard of that one. BNP Paribas, you've heard of that one. HSBC, yeah, the people that were Sinaloa drug cartel people that helped funnel their money through their banking system. And Exane and Natixis, I've never heard of those last two. But yes, so those are bad. I don't think anybody big is going to get arrested in that. But here's some more news coming out of the US. New S686 bill gives you a minimum of 20-year sentence and $250,000 fine for using a VPN to access banned apps in the US. So yes.
Minimum 20 years?
Yeah, 20 years.
Gosh.
So you know, big banks are probably gonna get a slap on the wrist, you know, for abating terrorism and stuff, but oh yeah, you use a VPN and yeah, crazy. Lastly, some good news about Ethereum. CFTC head, Ben Behanam, oh my gosh, I'm gonna butcher his name and I don't care. He confirmed that his view on ETH can be classified as a commodity. So take it or leave it, whatever, who cares? I'm not too concerned about Ethereum. If you know my stance on it right now, is that Ethereum is not going to be a security because guess where people will run to if ETH is declared a security? Bitcoin, and they do not want people going into Bitcoin because simply it's proof of work. So you can't buy a bunch of Bitcoin and be like a major shareholder of it like you can with Ethereum, which is proof of stake. Proof of stake, your share of the pie, which grants you power over the network. So yes, I have much more faith in the long run of Bitcoin, but I am not scared right now with Ethereum because that is their play in my opinion, and central banks are very easy to read, okay? Just as I said was with Christine Lagarde saying that CBDCs are gonna save the day, I told you that way before she said that. Anyways, that's all I have. Please like and subscribe. Check us down below for our trade alerts, portfolio updates, and much more in our CT Club. Bye-bye.